Truly, truly Kenya, yeah.
Hi, welcome back to the Truly Kenya podcast. And you are probably watching and listening on YouTube. If you are, if you could please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Or you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, which I also appreciate. And if you can also subscribe there too. So, last episode was a fucking train wreck. And train wreck, because if you didn't see it, there was a lot of tears from me. I know, right? Me, just a lot of tears. I was all over the place. Last week, it was a crazy, crazy week for me. 4 people had passed away. Christmas was coming. So this episode is right after Christmas. But Christmas was coming, and I had a lot of, I was very anxious about how this first Christmas would be without my kid's dad. And so I think that brought on, and then I had found some letters from my dad, blah, blah, blah. It was just a lot of tears, and I was ready because I had the Starbucks tissues, whatever, right? So I want to say, although it was a train wreck, it's good. I'm good. I'm feeling better. And Christmas was fucking fantastic. Like, I did all that worrying and stressing and being anxious about feelings that didn't even arise. Like, we just it was a good day. It was a really good day. And the kids were fine. They said they were going to be fine, and they were really fine. So I was like going through all those emotions for them, worrying about shit that I didn't even need to be worried about. So, I think it's a quote, or you hear people say, like, you don't need to be worrying about stuff before it happens. If it happens, then you worry about it, because then you extend the worrying process. So firsthand, I can tell you that moving forward, I'm not going to be worrying about shit before it happens, because I can't. I missed like 2 days. I was supposed to go to dinner. I had all these plans that I ended up not going through with, because I didn't want to be like, what do you call it? Is it a wet blanket, a wet towel, whatever? I didn't want to fuck up everybody else's evening. So I just didn't go. But Christmas was fantastic, and everybody was really, really good. So that was that. I have one child now back at school, and I have another child. My boy child is home, but everybody's getting back to normal. Let's see. So that was that. But in that video, with all the tears, my message. I don't have tissue today, because today is not a no cry zone. Okay, there are no tears today. Okay, so, but the people that I thanked, my cousin Kim, Heather Dillard, Raquel London. I think I gave you guys a no name, and he's still a no name. Him and Penny Jones. I do really appreciate you guys reaching out. I appreciate you just being maybe better friends to me than I was or am to you. And so I really meant that. I think it may have just got lost in how I was trying to say it, and why I chose to say it in that way. I get it. It was pretty cowardly, but it is what it is. So I do, and I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I hope you have like a fucking fantastic New Year. But I really do appreciate you. And there are other people that I appreciate too. Like, if you recommended a book to me going through this divorce, I've never said thank you. I've gotten all the books that were recommended to me at some point during the divorce. So thank you. Like, I know I don't respond to everybody or a lot. I don't respond a lot, which I'm going to try to get better with the podcast. But I do really, really appreciate it. And I'm feeling much, much, much better today. So, all right. I just wanted to say that. And with the edit last week, some of you may be thinking, why didn't she cut some of this off? Like when it comes to this show and it's just like me and you being like whoever's listening and watching, I don't want to do a lot of edits. I really want to get to a place where I am good enough or decent enough where I'm not doing any edits, or get to a place, maybe it's not good enough or that I just don't care. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It was what it was. So I'm not there yet. But I really, if you look from the first show probably to like the last show, I'm really trying to get further and further away of editing everything, because I'm trying to be authentic and real, So now if I have a guest that's different, there'll probably be some edits and stuff because I want to make sure the guests look good or I represent them well, depending on the type of guest. So, but if it's just me, I want to really, really try to get away from editing the videos. Another thing, I think some people still don't know yet who I am, like outside of my ex. And so if you watch or listen to this show, I joke a lot. I am very like silly, stupid, but smart. Like I like to have fun. I like to make fun of myself. I like to make fun of other people and things too. Sometimes it's inappropriate and maybe it's probably inappropriate. But that's just who I am. So like when I'm joking about dating, like, I don't know, like it could be a joke about like I date a lot of people or I'm dating this one and this one and this one. In my mind, I really would like that to be my life. I would really like to have a lot of different people for a lot of different things. But in reality, who I am, that's not me. I just think it would take up too much time and energy that I don't know if I really have or I want to dedicate to. Can you imagine, like, I don't know how guys do it. If you're dating like 4 people, or let's just say, okay, let's say 4. You got 4 people. You got to keep track of 4 people's wants and needs, likes and dislikes. I am so unorganized, I could never do it. I would be the one like, trying to make breakfast for somebody. And I think I'm doing like a good job maybe with the egg scramble. I love an egg scramble. Do you guys know what that is? An egg scramble is like an omelet, but instead of an omelet, it is scrambled. So I prefer it that way. So with every bite, you get a little bit of everything that was in the omelet. So, and in an omelet, when you go to cut, you may not have cheese, you may not have meat, and if you like vegetables or whatever, you may not have all that. But I like to get everything in every bite. So I love an egg scrambled omelet. Try it next time you go out. But can you imagine me trying to do that for someone, thinking I'm doing like a nice little deed, and then they're like, I like omelets. And you're like, oh, fuck, I should have looked at the Excel sheet. I just don't know how y'all keep it all together. I'm just not that, maybe I'm just not that locked into dating. I can date 1, okay, maybe 2, but not really more than that. But I'm usually locked into 1, maybe 1. And if I'm locked in, I'm locked in until I'm not locked in. But I just don't know how you guys date all these people. And I have a girlfriend that is very good at it, though. Like, she got that shit like it's second nature, like her name, like has no problems moving in and out of different types of relationships. Like she has different types of relationships, obviously different types of guys, and she just moves through, but she don't have kids and other stuff, but she just moves through that stuff really pretty easily. That's not me. Okay, so that's my introduction. So I like to have fun. I like to make fun of myself. And sometimes I'm just talking about shit that is really not important, but kind of funny to me, probably. And so don't take this show seriously. Like I tell you guys, we are not solving world problems. We're just here to have a few minutes of a good time where you don't have to be smart. You don't got to think about shit. You just got to enjoy it. Just enjoy that minute. It's almost like going to the bathroom. you get a minute to yourself. And if you got kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And just to do nothing. So just have fun with it. Don't expect a lot. Don't expect a lot over here. Because I don't got that much to give, I don't think. So yeah. Trying to think what else. I do want to talk about other podcasts because I get this a lot. People ask me like some of my favorite podcasts, and do I watch a lot of podcasts? So my favorite podcast would be like a true crime podcast because I think they're so cool, and I think that you have to be really smart to do those, and it takes so much time and research. If this little show takes a lot of research, I just can only imagine how much research like a true crime podcast would be. But those are probably my favorite. I don't really listen to a lot of other podcasts. I may listen to portions. So if somebody says, hey, listen to how she answers phone calls, like she has literally phone calls. Somebody told me to listen. Oh my God, I can't remember who it was. She takes phone calls during her podcast and answers questions. Someone else said, listen to the music being longer, listen to the music being shorter. So like little elements like that I may listen to, but I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts. And primarily because I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't want to start comparing this little show to a much more well-organized show. I don't want to, because in my mind, I really just want it to be a good time. And in life, I don't know if I am the most organized. So I don't care about everything being mapped out, scripted. Definitely don't want to script it. But I just want to come in and have a good time. Now, that doesn't mean that there are not things that I can learn from other podcasts. That's okay. But I just don't want to get in. I don't want to start comparing what I'm trying to do here or what we are trying to do here with any other podcast. So I really don't watch a lot of them at all. But I love podcasts. So maybe once I get this to where I want it to be, maybe I'll start to venture out a little more, but I'm just not there yet. And I just think whatever God has planned for this little show, that's what it's going to be. Because I think it's so weird that I am here now, and I think this is the right time for it. I don't think my timing to do it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, for whatever reason. I think right now is when I'm supposed to be doing it. So yeah. So I'm really happy with it, actually. Trying to think. So with that, I want to move into some PSAs because I have them. I have a couple of PSAs. So one of them is for men. I was sent a video. So this is like I thought I was going to talk about it last week, but with all the tears, it just never came up. So maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So there was a guy I was going back and forth with just on DM. And I don't know why he thought I would want to see a video of him literally having sex with somebody else. Okay. I don't know what he was thinking. Okay. So, but I think he sent it to me like this is what I can do. Like this is what you possibly could be looking forward to, right? I don't want to see that. That did not turn me on. I didn't like. First of all, I didn't even like his stroke. I didn't like how he was. I didn't like the approach. Okay, and I didn't want to see the video. So I ended up blocking him. But if somebody likes you or thinks that they like you, I'm just not sure that is the best way to take it maybe to the next level, to get a date, or to be sending people like videos of you having sex. I don't know, man or woman with somebody else. I thought it was so weird, just really weird, and was super turned off by it. But I do not think women want to see that. I don't know. I'm just speaking for myself. We do not want to see that. Okay. Keep it to yourself. And why is everybody letting you tape them? Like, is that listen, not me. Okay. So if that's your deal, Whoever is out there, you like to record. I'm not the one. Like, just don't even waste your time. That's what I'm saying to you. Nope. But we don't want to see that. It's kind of like, have you ever been to a hotel and they have, like, to make it easy for you, like for your convenience, they have that thing on the wall in the shower where it has like shampoo, your soap, and your conditioner. But if you just checked into the hotel and you're about to take a shower, if that is like halfway, like not filled to the top, what do you know? Somebody else was there. We do not want to know someone else was there. We want to pretend we have been the only ones in this hotel room. No one else has stayed here. We do not want to know, okay? The same thing like when guys, so crazy. Like if you've ever been to a guy's house, so this is not me, but I've heard this story. Okay, so this has not been my experience firsthand. And they have maybe a used condom or a condom pack, like in a garbage can in the bathroom. Like, really? 30 seconds to dump out this fucking garbage? Like, why do you think a woman would want to stumble across a used condom or condom packaging? That is not sexy. And we do not want to see that. Like, we want to pretend that your ass is not having sex with nobody but us. True or not. That's it. It's just, I don't know. You guys got to get better. You guys got to get better. And in fact, we don't also want to see any pictures of you in a fucking football jersey, okay? That is passe. We do not want to see it. Do a different, if you're going to be sending pictures of like, or pictures of your, what do you call it? Like if you're on a dating site, your profile picture, don't do it in a football jersey. That's just some additional free advice. And that goes for you too, you women also. If you guys are sending videos and not cleaning up after yourself before you guys invite other people over or whatever, you guys got to do better. So that was my long rant of a PSA for you guys. But think about it seriously. But I do have a news story that I thought was really good. Okay, so there's a TikTok, a lady that uses TikTok, but she's on a dating site called Hinge. And her name is, I wrote it, Shania K. Caldwell, and she's from Nashville. So she was about to go out on a date with a guy that she met on Hinge. And all of a sudden, she decides to Google him. And she finds out that this dude has been arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping. I meant to look up what that means because I don't know, but I'm going to look it up right now. So he was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping. So let's find out what that means, because it sounds like it's more than just I'm going to snatch you off the street, okay? So aggravated, I'm typing it in, okay, hold on. I think it sounds kind of violent. I can spell. Aggravated kidnapping. Okay. All right. Definition. So this is what it means. Yes, aggravated kidnapping is kidnapping accompanied by serious bodily injury to the victim, or a ransom demanded. Didn't nobody offer no ransom, but carjacking or fraud, force or fear upon a victim. Okay, so that means that he kidnapped somebody and did some bodily harm. I don't think he asked for a ransom. I don't think he carjacked and fraud. So he had to beat up, or I don't know, he had to do something. He had some sort of weapon. But anyways, can you imagine? So obviously she didn't go. But what if she had not Googled her date? You guys got to be careful, especially on dating apps. So I do not, if it's somebody, I do not Google. If that's not true. If it's somebody I totally don't know, I would Google. If it's somebody I know, I would not Google. I don't think, because sometimes I'm not ready to know shit. So I would not Google. But if it were a dating app that I was on, or somebody that didn't know somebody, I would Google. I would be on Facebook. I would be doing all kind of shit. But running his number through the through Google search. But I would do all kind of stuff. But I'm not right now. Everybody, I think that I date or in contact. Okay, I need to stop saying that because I'm really not dating a lot. I was trying to wait to 2022, which, thank you, Jesus, is almost here. So I don't really date a lot, but people that I talk to, I don't really Google, and they have all come through either I've known them at some point in life or I've met them through somebody that I do know. So yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was one of my news stories that I thought was really interesting. And thank God Shania is still with us. And she took time to take that 20 seconds to Google that dude. So she's still here, not kidnapped. So I have another story. Now, I guess Faison Love was someplace talking about his experience with the movie Friday and how he got paid $2,500, which Ice Cube said everybody on that movie for the first Friday was, whatever, SAG minimum. And they had a budget of $2.5 or $2.3 million for the movie, and it was a 20-day shoot. So for that movie went on to make a ton of money. So I don't know if I don't think these people had like a back end deal, which means like if you get paid X amount, but if your movie hits this marker, then you'll get paid extra. So it sounds like that didn't happen. So then for next Friday, which was the second installment of the Friday series, Chris Tucker did not do it. And I had always heard also it was because of money. But Ice Cube said it wasn't because of money. It was because he had found religion and didn't want to cuss and smoke on camera. So that's what Ice Cube is saying. So that's why Chris Tucker decided not to film the second Friday. And Ice Cube said he was going to offer him like between 10 and 12 million. That's how you know that first Friday must have made a shit ton of money. If he's then going to offer somebody, from whatever SAG minimum to 10 to 12 million. And I wonder if Chris Tucker regrets not doing Friday, the next Friday. Now when you're thinking about 10 to 12 million, like, I wonder now being older, does he realize, hey, I could have did that and still stuck to my principles? Or I just wonder how he feels about that. And then I guess Faison was like, no, I'm not doing it. But after that, I do think that Faison heard Ice Cube, and Ice Cube sounded pretty pissed, saying he didn't fucking rob nobody. And so Faison came back out and said he loves Ice Cube, loved the franchise. I think he loved the director, and he named a few people, but I think that was some cleanup work. And so anyways, but all this to say, okay, so I'm telling you this story because I think that happens a lot. I think there are a lot of low budget films. And I think also it made me think, like, if you told a promoter, and I'm going to use comedy because that's where I was. That's comedy. I'm using comedy and I'm using a comedy show, okay? Because that's what I know. So if you tell a promoter, I need X amount of money, whatever, just to keep our numbers super simple, I'm going to say $1,000, okay? Which is low, and I don't think anybody is doing that, okay? But I need $1,000. If the promoter says, okay, you asked for $1,000, I'm going to give you $1,000. If the promoter ends up making $60,000 on this show, whatever, the comedy show you were on, do you really care? Like, are you in the promoter's pocket like that? Or are you not even tripping because I asked for $1,000 and I got $1,000? So that's what it made me think, like, or are you like, damn, you can bonus me? So that's what I was wondering. Like, are you in the next person's pockets? Like, would I be? So I wouldn't be. If I told you I needed 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, if you pay me what I asked for, I would not care how much money you made. Okay. Now, this is me with not a contract, not a show, nothing like that. Now, if I had a show and, but some contracts are based on ratings and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, I wouldn't care. If I got what I asked for, I wouldn't care. So, and I think Ice Cube also said that Faison only did like a day or two of work. So he was pissed. I think he was pissed. But I think that they are all friendly now again. Um, so yeah, because it is like the right before New Year's Eve. I'm trying again to keep this at like an hour. I know. I'm just trying to. So I hope I'm sailing right through this. Okay. So I really didn't have a lot, I guess, to talk about there, but I wanted to. Hold on. Okay. Okay. The questions are here. So with that, I think we can get right into these questions. And I'm going to try to do some of the questions that I didn't get to last week because I did all that damn crying and whatever questions she sent me. I did ask her. Well, I didn't ask her. I did mention that I don't think I want to do a lot of X questions. Not, no. Moving into 2022. I don't want to do a lot of X questions because this is not the Gary and Kenya show. Okay. So I'm trying to do as many as I can now, but I don't really want to I don't want to do a lot of X questions. I just don't. So I'll do maybe an X after the divorce is over and I got transcripts and all that kind of stuff. That may be kind of funny or fun. But, well, I shouldn't say it like that. It will probably be funny or fun. I'm only saying that because my ex does not mind getting on the stand to tell a bold-faced lie. Okay. And so some of the lies, like in our jurisdiction trial, which I did lose, but I lost because of me because I signed my tax returns for 2018, 2019. I did vote there and I still had like my driver's license. So it was all stupid stuff, and I totally understood the judge's decision. So I lost the jurisdiction, which I was trying to have in California, where we live, and he was, trying to obviously have it in Ohio. So Ohio won, and that's fine. I just shouldn't have signed that shit, but I did. So here we are. But what he lied about was my house in California. It's a flip house. So that was shocker, because if it were a flip house, I would not have moved those messy ass kids into it. I would not have moved my mother from Ohio to California. I mean, who moves into a flip house? Who spends $350,000 on a backyard? You'll never get your money back. So whatever. We'll go through those transcripts at the end. Let's see. Okay, so I do have questions. All right. Do you have plans for New Year's and a resolution? I do have plans for New Year's Eve and a resolution. I think my resolution is that I want to make sure I stay true to the things that I want and I need and I like. And I don't really want to, like, I want to be compromising, but I don't want to be compromising so much again. Like, I want to know when to leave. I want to make sure I leave when it's time to leave. If things don't work out, like in terms of like dating, I don't want to stay too soon. And I don't think I want to stay too soon, but I want to stay true to who I am and what I want. Like, so in terms of dating, that's it. And in terms of some of the things I'm trying to do, sometimes I get very frustrated and I don't feel like doing it, i.e. that YouTube cooking show. But I want to stay on course because I think it's going to do really well. But sometimes I feel like saying fuck it. I just tell you the truth. So I want to stay on course with those things I'm trying to do. And I want to make sure that I stay present with the kids because like last year it was finding out your parents are getting the divorce. This year is going to be actually going through the divorce. And with the divorce comes depositions and a trial and all of that. So, and so I don't know what they're going to hear, what they're not going to hear. But I just want to make sure I try to stay present and available to them during it. So I think those, like the kids, the whatever. Okay. So I think that's it. I don't know. I just want to be happy. That's my resolution, is for me to be happy. To stay happy, I guess. Oh, okay. Is your cooking show only other people's recipes? No, they're my recipes too. I don't know if I said that or not. The recipes that have been handed down to me, they're recipes I've come across through the years. But yes, they are some of my other favorite recipes that I've discovered from other chefs and everybody. I'm not trying to pretend like a recipe is mine. That's not mine. So if it's from another chef, did I just call myself a chef? When I say another, it assumes that I'm a chef too, right? So let me just say, I am not a chef. And if you are chef trained or formally trained, I'm going to drive you fucking crazy because I don't know the correct term to do anything. And I'm only using the butcher knife. So I don't know if you should watch. I really think you should not watch. Maybe you should just listen because there are a lot of stories that come with a lot of these recipes and how I got them. And maybe you should just listen. Don't watch because I'm sure I'll be cutting shit wrong. And I don't know, using the wrong terms, whatever. But yeah, I'm not a chef, but I will be giving people their credit. Do you have a lot of single friends and do you guys talk about your dates? I do. I think I have a good mix of both single and attached or married. Single friends, I don't really talk about I tell you guys, like, I probably do the most talking about myself right here. So if anybody in my life want to find out something, they need to listen to the show. And they probably don't even know it is a show. So they need to listen to the podcast because I don't do a lot of talking. I ask a lot of questions, but in terms of me, I don't really do a lot of talking like that. So when they're talking about their dates, they got really good stories. I'm listening, but I don't know if I add a lot, and I don't have a lot of bad experiences. And sometimes people want to hear your bad experience. Like, when I'm gonna be at the table, the only one not bitching and complaining about my dates. Like, who wants to hear that? You know what I mean? So I just kind of take it all in. And these people are dating way more than me. So no, I don't really talk about it. I just kind of stay quiet. And like I've already said before, I like to hear other people's stories. So I just shut up. Let's see. Have you had sex yet? No. Will you guys stop asking me that? No. Every week. No, I have not. Remember, I said in 2022, I will choose somebody to have sex. Okay. I'm just not locked into anybody like that yet. So no. And you know what I think about me? I think about me and sex. If I choose the wrong person, like somebody I'm not like really feeling like I don't really, really like, I do not think I'm going to give two shits about if he feels good. And I don't want to be that person. I want everybody to feel good. So I have to be locked in mentally. And then everything else will flow. But if I'm just going to be having sex with somebody I don't care about, and then he going to turn around and be telling somebody she didn't show up or it wasn't right, oh no, not me. Nope. So yeah, I just haven't found anybody yet. And you should consider astrological signs when you date. Maybe. But the thing is, I don't know much about signs. I know I'm a Taurus, and I know I'm supposed to be stubborn and loyal and loving, maybe. So I know that, but I don't know anything else about anybody else's sign. Like, seriously, my cousin yesterday just told me what sign my daughter is. Okay. That's how much I don't know about signs. So I wouldn't know really where to start with that. And do you really think there are signs that are not compatible? Like, really? Are there signs that just are not compatible with each other? I don't know. What do you want what do you want career-wise? Okay. So, I know exactly what I want, but I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. Cuz I hear you, on one hand, you should say it and put it out for the universe to manifest it. And then I hear you don't put it out there because then these people that pretend to be your friends that are maybe really haters or just straight up haters working against you. So I don't know. I'm not going to say anything yet. I got to do a little more research on that. But what I can tell you is I do not want a cooking show. That, to be paid for it like that and to be so regimented does not look like fun to me. Like when I watch, there's a show that comes on about these people, regular people trying to get a cooking show, and that it doesn't look fun to make it. So I don't want that. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay. Are you single? There's a picture of you going around online with a well-known guy in LA. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I want to say. If you ever in life see a picture of me with anybody and I look happy or it looks like he's making me happy, just fucking like the picture. Or just be, I'm so glad she's happy. I fucking deserve to be happy. And I don't know what picture this is because I haven't seen a picture. And just to tell you the truth, I'm really able to move around without people knowing it's Gary's ex or whatever. Like, so far I've really been able to move around like that. And I like it. But I don't, just be happy. If you ever see a picture of me being happy, you just be happy. But keep in mind, some of these pictures could be out of context. What if I was at the same place and we were just talking and maybe laughing and maybe he touched my arm or my leg or maybe I touched him or whatever. It doesn't mean that I am in some relationship or that I am dating. Okay? So, I don't even know what picture you're talking about, but I'm good. Okay? I'm happy. Damn, you guys don't miss a beat though. But yeah, okay. All right. So let's see. Do you think you just should have shut the hell up and stayed even though your spouse was cheating? And besides, you took the car and ran. Well, goddamn. I mean, wow. Okay. All right. So first of all, the car. I don't know why we did the big production last Christmas, so Christmas 2020 with the car, because I never got a car. All right. So my ex said the car guy called him February or March while he was on stage. So he said that the car guy called him at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Do I believe that? No. But with my ex, the nigga got to ring a bell. If he ain't ringing a bell, then you don't know. It's like, can you please ring a bell when you want to tell the truth? Just like a ding, 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 so you'll really get locked in and focused to what he's saying. So do I think some car guy at 10, 11 o'clock at night reached out to him to say, hey, the car is here? I don't. I do think he was contacted. And I said, well, did you call the guy back? And he was like, not yet. So I don't know what that was about, but a lot of you guys come at me like I just took this dude's car and like left. So I would never do that. And that did not happen. What was the other part of that? Oh, do I just think I should have shut the hell up? I did shut the hell up. I mean, for years, I was with him for 23 years. Okay. So the first time he cheated on me, I was 8 months pregnant, laying on a fucking leather sofa, up at 1 o'clock in the morning, because this is when he was going from college to college to college. So he could be like 3 nights or 4 different nights at 4 different colleges, and each college was like 2 to 3 hours. So 8 months pregnant, you're probably not sleeping that well. But after the show, so let me tell you, I will tell you this one thing about Gary. Gary is really good about you knowing his every move. If he's on a flight, When he gets on the plane, he'll call. When he gets off the plane, he calls. When he checks into the hotel, he calls. Before a show, he calls. After a show, he calls. When he gets back to the hotel room, he calls. Okay, so he is going to the gym. I mean, so every moment of the day, he is calling. Not like a text. He is calling to let you know his movements. Okay, so when this is in the beginning, okay, because Austin is now 21, so he was doing a lot of driving. Like he would fly into one city, rent a car, and maybe drive to city. So it was late, and I didn't want him to fall asleep. So he would call me after the college show, and then I would just talk to him for a couple of hours until he got to the next place. That is just what we did, and I didn't mind doing it. And this one time, he was somewhere more southern. And this is when people had to leave a voicemail. And if you're talking to somebody, you could hear the phone click, 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 right, while you're talking to them. So I'm talking to him and whatever, and I hear the phone click, but it's like 1-something in the morning. I'm like, who's calling? And he was like, I don't know, Tony Tone, which is another comic. So he was like, hey, let me call you right back. I'm going to call back. So I'm still asking questions. So he can't get me off the phone quick enough just to collect the call, right? And so, which all of that probably took like 5 seconds, 10 seconds or whatever. I was like, why is he calling you this so late? And he was like, I don't know, whatever. So we hang up. The girl leaves a message, like, because you have to leave a voice message. So she leaves a voice message. So Gary must have called her directly, but I called his voicemail, okay? Because what he's also good is at giving you his passcodes to everything, right? Because it's this false sense of security that he creates, okay? So if I ever went to his phone, and I know how to get into his phone and all this sort of stuff. It was always like that. So I called and I listened to the voicemail. So, and at that time, when you left a voicemail, it would give your phone number from 51, whatever her number was. I don't remember. I think it started with an 8, but I'm really not sure. So I'm literally 8 months pregnant. And so I listened to her voicemail. Her voicemail was like, hi, I'm really sorry about tonight. I'm sorry I couldn't go any further, but I just had the baby. He's only 3 months old and blah, 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 right? So I'm seriously 8 months pregnant without a motherfucking plan. All right. So I'm like crying. And then I call him back like, who the fuck is this? Right. And what are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. That was just somebody, whatever. He talks himself out of it. But he talks himself out of it because, like I said, in the middle of the conversation, I realized, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm like 8 months pregnant. Like, I don't have a plan. Like, I'm going to deal with this after the baby is born. That's what I told myself. But then it's sorry, whatever, won't happen again. Nothing happened, whatever. You heard her voicemail. She said nothing happened. Well, something happened, just not as much as you wanted, to happen. And then after the baby, I love the baby. Baby's here. Happy little family. You don't deal with, I didn't deal with it. Didn't you just keep moving on? So all that to say, I did shut the hell up. I was patient, and I tried to, I can't tell you how many times we went to therapy and had these conversations and these apologies and this and that. And then finally, the end comes. And I decide I want to be happy. And I decide, my thing was this. You just decide you want to be happy. That's what I want to say. That's all I want to say about it. So I think I was crying. And no, I didn't get a fucking car. All right? I don't know. Y'all can ask him about that. I don't have a car. And every time he hears that, I'm not sure why he doesn't dispel like she didn't get a car. She just lets you guys run with these things that you make up in your head. So that was the answer to that question. God, and that was a really aggressive question. You asked that question like you already knew what you wanted me to say. Like, yes, I should have shut the hell up. Are you going to be able to handle it when your ex starts to date again? Shit, wasn't he always dating? I mean, I think he was always dating. And trust me, I'm gonna be good because you know what I do know? I know how that shit starts. I know the middle and I know the end of that story. So I'm gonna be perfectly okay. I don't care. I believe in God. I would never date another guy that does not believe in God. Okay. I would never date a guy that never had somebody praying for him, whether it was a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, a aunt, somebody. Like I would. That's not where I want to be at this point in my life. Okay, like I really want somebody who really believes in God. Now that is coming from a person. I don't go to church. Well, I haven't found like a home church, and I don't go to church on Sundays. But I do pray, and I pray often actually, and I try to do what I think is right, by other people. Like I'm not out here trying to be fucked up to anybody. Oh boy, do I dare answer this? When did you know it was really over? All right, just because I'm already off the rails, I'm going to tell you two things that happened. And I've never told anybody because I think they're both embarrassing. So when my grandmother passed away, Gary did not go to her funeral. And flip side of that is somebody could say, well, did you ask him? No, I didn't ask him, but he's been my husband for, I don't know, 17, 18 years. I mean, why would I have to ask him to go to my grandmother's funeral? It just seemed like that I went to all his funerals. I think I missed one of his friend's father's funerals, but I think that was hurtful to me because I was so close to my grandmother. But I'm not really a complainer and stuff, so I think that I deal with stuff internally, and I think that he never reached out to my mother to say, I'm sorry your mom died, or sent her flowers or a card. And that was just weird to me. Like, it was just weird. And then for the repast, and the repast is like something that you do after the person's funeral. And I'm explaining that because I don't know if it's just a black thing or just everybody do it. So it was at the church, and they were going to cater food. So I said, well, I'll pay for the food because I had been in Ohio, and my family really took over the care of my grandmother, driving her here, driving her there, being at the rehabilitation, sitting there with her, at the rehabilitation center and stuff. And so the least I could do is pay. I mean, I think catering was like $350. Maybe I spent a total of $500 because then we did all go to Smart and Final to get drinks and stuff like that. And when I said, well, I'm going to pay for the catering. His first response to me was, why? Why can't they help, or why can't they pay, or why do you have to pay at all? And it was so mean and hurtful. And I think we kind of got into it a little bit, but like we weren't big arguers. Like we would maybe argue and talk about something else. And I'm not a big arguer. So I already knew it didn't matter what he was about to say. I was paying for it, right? So why have that argument? Just say, okay. So I just said, okay. But I did end up paying for it. And then soon after, when his brother passed, we paid for his mother's catering or whatever. And like without a problem. Like, but it was just so, and maybe it just goes to show like how valuable or how much you mean to somebody or whatever. So that was one thing, and I don't think I ever got over it. Like, you're able to move forward, but it's there. And for me, because maybe if I would have just had like this whole blow up thing or whatever, maybe I could have gotten over it. But I think maybe just because I'm a mental note person, I just took the note and be like, oh, okay, I see who you are, right? So me and the kids went to the funeral, but it's weird to have people saying like, hey, where's Gary? And you make up some excuse as to why Gary isn't there. That was one thing. And that was, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And then the other thing is, okay, so this was during COVID. So everybody comes to me with problems and like whether, or my thoughts about stuff, like whether it's about business, whatever, right? And it's always been that way since I was little. So I bought a little bitty travel company. I had 7 employees. And during COVID, obviously people are not traveling. These people have families. Towards the end of COVID, there were like, I think about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks where I would leave for 4 hours in the morning, run errands, go to a store, whatever. I would come back home. I guess I didn't realize this was the pattern, but this was my pattern. I would leave in the morning like 4 hours, come back home. I would get in the bed. I would get up in time to either cook or go get them something to eat, right? Feed them somehow. And if I were going to like buy something out, I don't buy them fast food. I like get like a real, like go to a restaurant and get real food for them. And then I guess I was getting back in the bed for like 6 weeks. And then one day, Gary walks into the bedroom and he says, "Are you depressed?" And I was like, I like sat up, like, "What?" He said, "Are you depressed?" And I said, "You think I'm depressed?" And he said, "Yeah." And I was like, "I don't know. I've never been depressed. I mean, I don't know." I said, "But you think I'm depressed?" And he was like, "Mm-hmm." He did just like that. And he walked his ass right out that room and closed the door. So he walked out the room. And then I was like, what the fuck? Am I depressed? So I started Googling like a functional depression. Because I thought when you're depressed, you just stay in the bed all day. You can't eat and all this sort of stuff. So I started Googling functional depression. And I was like, oh my God, some of these symptoms I could have. But I didn't know, like, why would I be depressed? Like, why would I be depressed? You know, we paying our bills. He's making money, whatever. And what I realized is I was depressed by my employees and how are they making it. Some of them were deferring their mortgages and stuff like that. That shit was the most stressful time that I will never have employees again. Like, that's how stressful it was. So I did go to talk to somebody. Like, I got a therapist and I talked to somebody. But this is what is embarrassing. And this is what I've never said out loud before. Is that so when he walked out the door, he left me there. Like, I am the mother of his kids. Like, let's just say you hate my fucking guts. But what you do know is that is the mother of my kids. So I got to make sure she good so she can make sure these kids are good that I don't really feel like being bothered with. Okay? But instead, he did not turn to me and say, listen, I'm going to get you a therapist. You better get a therapist. Or, come on, let's go for a walk. Let me get you out of this room. Or, let's go to dinner. Let's do something. He just fucking left me there to my own devices. Okay? But what I knew at that moment is, as I'm sitting up in bed like, what the fuck? I got to get this shit together. So, whatever. I started therapy. 2 days after he told me that, I was talking to an attorney in LA. I was leaving messages for attorneys in LA. One of them I'll talk to and about divorce. And I don't even know if he knows this. He may know it. But she said, so she talked to me, whatever. She said, you're not ready. She said, you got to get ready. Financially, you're not ready, whatever. And if you go through with a divorce, this is going to be a big thing. And it probably will not be any turning back. So I want you to really think about it and start to get ready, right? So that's what I did. I don't know if I was naturally getting ready, but I had to make sure that if you pull the trigger, you better be fucking ready. And I wasn't ready. So I started going to therapy and whatever. But yeah, so there are other things, but those were the 2 major things. So like after the whole depression thing, what I realized is that this cannot be the rest of my life. The rest of my life cannot be with this dude who would have fucking left me there while he thought I was depressed. Like, at the very least, I deserve more than that. Like, And so from that day, I saw him differently. I think I responded to him differently. It doesn't mean like I don't know if he would pick it up or whatever, but something inside of me was moving differently. So that's what it was. That's what it was. And okay. Wow, you guys are getting a lot of stuff today, so don't be coming at me 2022 for shit about him. Sorry. Picture. I'm sorry. Did you and Gary exchange Christmas gifts? Yeah, he gave me a fucking $18,000 tuition bill for his daughter's college. And I didn't set his career on fire. I don't know, like I could have. So that was our gift to each other. Okay. Let's see. What issues, dating or otherwise, are you working on in therapy? I'm not working on issues of dating. They're more issues like just making sure that I'm clear about what makes me happy and how I want to move forward. The dating, that shit's going to come. I'm not worried about that dating. I'm more making sure that I'm healthy to be dating somebody. I went out with boyfriend and got into a verbal fight, and he embarrassed me in front of all his friends. I haven't spoke to him since. Okay, this is weird because if he's your boyfriend, how haven't you spoken to him since? That's what you said. So I'm not sure that's your boyfriend, first of all. But I'm gonna just tell all girls and women out there, especially young girls. If you out or you in the house and your dude pisses you off, but he got all his boys around him, it's not worth it. Just let the shit go for now, because let me tell you what you got to deal with. You embarrassing him in front of his friends, and then the ego. Okay? Now, if you wait, then you don't have to worry about some of that. But I do not care what happened. I would never get into a fight with my boyfriend or somebody I'm dating in front of his friends. Because especially if you're the black guy, that ego shit is crazy. You don't even want to deal with it. So now I would take a Uber and like maybe leave, but I would not be trying to get into an altercation with my dude in public with his friends or whatever. That is just not how I would move. Never, ever. I may send his ass a text and say, cut it out, but I would not be trying to get into some verbal altercation with any guy like that. And you know something else, when you do, this is, when something comes to an end, and this is something else I want, this is straight, really, I guess it could be for women or men. When something comes to an end and you're ready to end it, you know what kind of dude you got, okay? If this motherfucker is super crazy, may have chopped off a head or two in his past, owns a ton of firearms, I think you got to leave differently. Now, I don't have any experience with any of this, and somebody else is probably going to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm saying, if I was dating a crazy dude or a dude who had the ability to be crazy, I wouldn't just be like, fuck this, I'm out, I'm leaving. No. You have to become everything that motherfucker hates, okay? So, if he likes dinner at 6, you start making that shit at like 9 or 10. Okay? If he's a vegetarian, you better start making chicken to go with the vegetables. You know, if he likes a lot of head, or stop giving him head. Become everything he hates, so he will leave you and you won't have a problem. Okay? If he's super neat, stop cleaning up. Become messy. Now, you can't do all this shit immediately. You got to gradually get into it. But if you got a crazy Looney Tune, even if she's a woman, you just may have to do things differently, you know? So because you don't want the hassle. Who wants the hassle? You know, you don't. So I think you make the crazy people want to leave you. Let them think they came up. They got rid of your ass. Like, who cares? You know. And when they walk out the door, you close it, you fucking turn around and do a happy dance. I mean, but y'all got to be careful about how y'all leaving some of these crazy people. So, which is why I say to my ex, you got it fucking easy. I don't bother nobody. I'm just sitting over here now. I may post. I may do a post or two, but it's because you've triggered me. And what I think is you trigger me because you want my attention. And there are other ways to get my attention. Just stop being shitty to us. Stop being shitty to us. I'll be available to help you with anything you need. You know what I mean? But I think you do it because I think you want my attention. Any kind of way you can get it. You're like that badass kid. Like any kind of way they can get attention, their mama's attention, that's how they trying to do it. So, but with that, seriously, with all of the ex stuff, I want you guys to be supportive because I think he is super funny, really quick. I want you to be supportive. I think he can be a nice guy if you like meet him like out, like at a dinner party, getting drinks like that. Okay. There's the other side of him, but you would probably never know that. I think that, I'm not saying to bash him or whatever. I'm just saying like he and I are going through it. But I don't care. Be supportive. I want him to go on to be happy too. Okay? So yeah, I want him to go on and be happy too. Okay, this is a long ass question, so we're going to make this the last one. Who is the hardest person to date? A guy with no money or money? Good question. Well, I think no money, you just do dates within the no money budget, like, so maybe you're not at a super expensive restaurant, maybe you're at Applebee's or BJ's or whatever. So I think you just learn to do things within your budget, whatever that is. But I think money and no money, and this is maybe more about black guys because my daughter said we only doing black love over here now. And, I think they both got egos, no money or not. And most of the time they still have confidence and all that kind of stuff. So I think that they're honestly very, very, very similar. I do think that broke guys are probably better sexually than guys with money. Because I think sometimes when guys get money, they get lazy because they just got money. And the girls don't care about the other. But what I remember about Acorn and 98th and MacArthur, let me tell you something about that broke peen. I don't think it's anything else out there like it. I think it's dipped in gold. Okay? Broke dudes are the only dudes, or like these hood dudes or dudes that live like, like I'm from 98th or whatever, or the Acorn. These hood dudes must have the best because they are only dudes, seriously, that can have like 4 kids, 4 different baby mamas, maybe 3 babies on the way, another 3 different baby mamas, no job, no house, no car. And these women are like fighting over who gets to take care of them. I've never seen anything like it. I really think that shit is dipped in gold. I would never, ever, ever mess with a hood dude, So when some of these suburban girls be going and mess with these hood dudes, you better be careful. You don't know what you're about to get yourself into. Okay, you're gonna be having to go back to the hood every day to fight these bitches so you can have him. It's just crazy. And then you're gonna go back to the suburbs, digmatized with a fucking tattoo across your neck. Stay away. Y'all aren't ready. We ain't ready. Suburbs, we ain't ready. Not for these hood dudes. That's what I think about the sex, but sometimes they're just so much fun. They have a good sense of humor. You know what I mean? So, talking about the guys from the hood, like to have fun, whatever. So, but anyways, I really think that they are, money and no money are really very similar. And I think if you want to know the truth, like my mother's been single for 20 years. And I don't really think she's ever going to find anybody. And she can be fun and silly. I think she's just so set in her ways. So if I were to say anything, I think it is more difficult. Not the money and it's not the money and the no money. It's not the hood versus the suburbs. I think is these people that have been single for so long that they get so set in their ways. They're really not interested in compromising. It's their way or the highway. And when you show up, I think you are showing up to, have a good time. You being whoever is trying to date them. To have fun, laugh, be supportive, be encouraging, just to love them. And you have to prove that your presence, your company, I think your energy is better than their solitude. And I think in terms of my mother, I don't think there's nobody on the face of the earth that's going to make her think that somebody's presence is better than their solitude, her solitude. And I think the same thing maybe with guys. Like, I could be wrong. And if you are a single guy and you've been single for 10 or more years, let me know if I'm like so off. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's hard to date people that have been single for a long time because they're good. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think you work really hard to prove like, I can make you happy. And you just got to decide if that is what you want to do. Do you want to work that hard? Okay. So that was a long question. I hope I answered it. And if I'm wrong, really about anything, or you have some sort of thoughts, that's fine. I don't care. You can share them with me, and yeah, you can share them with me. Even if it's about my whole tangent about Gary. I just get a lot of DMs, or not DMs, just comments. And sometimes they also attach him like just whatever, makeup, or you guys need therapy, or you need to talk, or whatever. You're probably right. But I think I'm so past that I don't think I would be helpful in a therapy session because I feel so wronged. Like I feel so disappointed and frustrated and wronged, really. Not that he owes me everything, but he definitely owes me something. And to not care how we are is weird to me. But I really do think, like, he's going to be fine and I'm going to be fine. And I think right now, because I don't care about the women and I don't miss him, I think the only way he can control me is with money. And the motherfucker is masterful at that. Okay. So, but I think we are going to be fine. Him and the relationship to his kids, he gonna have to work on that. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just a crazy time. But that was 2021. And next time I see you, we're going to be in 2022. And we're going to leave all that behind us, hopefully, in terms of my conversation about it. He'll keep talking about it, but my conversation about it. So I want to wish everybody a very happy, like the happiest of New Year's, and to thank you so much for just being on. What a shit! This is really a shit show. So 2022, we're gonna turn this around to something else, and I'm good. My kids are good. I hope your family is good. And sometimes shit does not go our way, but I believe in God, and I know it's going to be okay. And I think it's going to be okay for you too. But stay positive as best you can. And like I said, y'all better be praying for some wisdom. And follow Deion Sanders. He'll keep you in check most of the time. All right. So with that, happy.
Truly, Kenya, yeah. Truly.